The Jinn/Gentile, the tool of the dragon in Revelations chapter 13 verse 3 and Revelations chapter 13 verse 4 is the Jahcubite, ungodly Jewish conspirators. The Jahcubite is Satan, incarnated in flesh. He has taken on the mind and nature of Iblis, the Jinn, who grew into Shaitan and was cast out of heaven by God, Allah. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn! You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. Book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 12. He replied, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Luke 10, verse 1. And behold, we said to the angels, bow down to Adam, and they bowed down. Not so Iblis, he refused and was haughty. He was of those who reject faith. Holy Qur'an, chapter 2, verse 34, Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation. Imam W. Deen Muhammad, in his 1995 Ramadan session, made the following comments on the Jinn. Yes, so the Jinn are within us. He acts from within, and the Jinn also are without, outside of us, and he acts from without. But look at the description of the Jinn. The Jinn are rational like man. He is capable of reasoning. He's not an angel. He is capable of reasoning, questioning, and doubting, etc. So he's rational like man. Now, if the Jinn are outside of us, how can he be unless he's in another human being? I will tell you how he can be. Man animates the dead material world and makes it speak to you, and even engage your rational mind in communicating to you, and even answering questions and talking back to you, and making you come to a conclusion. Therefore, the Jinn do exist also outside of the human body, but only because of man disobeying and following the Jinn. So, we talked about spirits as influences, didn't we? Those influences talk to us and sometimes get the best of our thinking and cause us to come to wrong conclusions. But where is the fault? You can't blame it on us. That's why it says in the hereafter you're going to say, it was that devil that caused you to do it. The devil is going to say, I separate myself from all the charges that he has made associating me and his acts, saying, I did nothing but invite him and he came. So, the blame is on the person that allows his own nature to be weak and be attracted to wrong, and though wrong was put before you to entice you, to seduce you, you, in the final analyses, you are the judge. You did not have to accept it. You could have said no to it. That's why they say to just say no to drugs, right? It invites you to say no to drugs, and you sure can't blame that drug in the hereafter. And behold, we said to the angels, bow down to Adam, and they bowed down. Not so Iblis, he refused and was haughty. He was of those who reject faith. Holy Qur'an, chapter 2, verse 34, Abdullah Yusuf Ali translation. The Jinn, according to Imam W. Deen Muhammad, are people who have not cultivated their divine nature. Therefore, they are not worthy of being called human beings or people. Imam Muhammad adds, man means a developed mind ruling over the forces of the human body, and people are a collective group with well-developed minds that rule over the forces of the physical body. Imam Muhammad provides further insight. The Jinn state is the natural first stage in human development before coming into civilized or well-developed mind. The Imam says, Gentiles/Jinns identified as Europeans/Caucasians who had not come into divine knowledge, and they were living under the forces of physical nature. Thus, they behaved vulgarly and immorally in public. They had filthy and unclean habits in decent behavior. But the Imam cautions, you can fall into that state of development if you don't know your true identity. So, it appears that African Americans have fallen under this Jinn behavior while under the rule of the Gentile, although they possess the religious scripture now. Based upon the teachings of the Jahcubite, Imam Muhammad points out that the Bible is a tool of war against the Gentile world, elevating their conceptions of arrogance/racism. It makes the Gentile feel he can conquer anything. It gives him an artificial humanity, a heart and mind allowing the practice of double justice. They are able to execute a crime against a segment of society and see it as just. Therefore, as a tool of the Jahcubite or Satan, he has done the works of Satan. Satan's tool, the Jahcubite, has used their tool, the Gentile, to carry out their schemes all throughout history. Europe, Britain, is a Gentile power, and America is a Gentile state. Imam W. Deen Muhammad talks about the scheme of the Jahcubite and how he uses the Gentiles to carry out his agenda in his November 26, 1978, lecture entitled Circumcision of the Mind. So, they have given us Antichrist for Christ, and Allah in the Qur'an tells us that, say, they did not kill Jesus, nor did they crucify him. So, if they didn't kill or crucify Jesus, who is the dead Christ we're looking at? That is not Jesus. That's a sign of what they have done to you. They have made you worship the dead Jerusalem and waiting for the Jerusalem to be resurrected. So, when the Jahcubite kingdom is resurrected, you are going to be worshiping them. Imam W. Deen Muhammad, November 26, 1978, Circumcision of the Mind.